Probably a nice little bump and run here. Just like I was talking about before, I still want to see that rotation through the shot here.
Yep.
So even though it's a small backswing, still want to see that good rotation. Good. I like the very square setup. I do like that. I appreciate it for sure.
This one is slight.
It is. And I'll tell you what, in your body language right now, I see you using a little bit of your hands to compensate, but you can actually go ahead and compensate for that with your posture and your setup, and then you won't have to feel like you have to help the ball up in the air, right? So, like you said, we are on a slight slope here, right? So I want you to go and take your normal setup for the shot. I want you to go ahead and push your hands forward just a touch over your left thigh. Pushing forward a touch.
Spinner.
There we go. And then I want you to go and put a little bit more weight on your left side as well. Great. And then I want you to make the same normal swing you were doing. You should be able to hit down on this ball a little better. Ooh, that was a little handsy. I'm going to make you do exactly what Steven was doing here. But I want you to go ahead and look back. I want you to stop. Just rotate your shoulders good. And this is what we're going to do. We're always going to feel that. So it's not in our hands, right? But it's going to be in our leash. Awesome. And I want, yeah, and I want you to feel like your hands are connected to your chest. So that means that you might have to be all the way out. And as weird as that feels to feel like the club's going out and up, if you start to rotate, what's your hands going to do? Your hands are going to drop back into your spot where you're looking for, yes. So let's try that a couple times. Give me a couple practice swings where you're taking the club out and up. Awesome. Keeping your hands in front of you, connected to you, in front of your chest here. Awesome. And then just go ahead and keep that wrist angle and rotate through, okay? Good. Good. So that time you hit it with your body, opposed to kind of feeling like your hands are being thrown at the ball. Out and up. Keep it connected. Good. Out and away. Keep your hands in front of you. And then rotate. There we go. That's rotation right there. And you can always tell in your finish because you're always connected. Your hands aren't doing something. You're not over-rotating first. Everything is always just kind of moving together here. What do you think? A little throwy in the hands? Yeah, a little throwy. And you know what, if your touch is good, if your hands are good, you're going to want to rely on it more. But let's use the mechanics and the muscles in our big parts of our body, right? So in our core, you know, in our chest here, in your back muscles, kind of all feeling like they're, you know, rotating around and through. Let's see that again. Scoopy. Turn. One more time. Setup. Think about your setup here, yeah. If you feel like you're helping the ball up in the air, we can always change our setup to make sure we're hitting down the ball a little better. Awesome. Even better. Out and away, down and through. Good. Good. And I want you to go ahead and just kind of hold on to it. Hold on to the grip of your club. Maybe make it a little bit longer than that, maybe like 2 feet. Cool. Great, and then go ahead and just make your normal setup or grip. I want you guys to go ahead and continue to face me, and then go ahead and put the club down, and it's going to be on your left-hand side. Awesome. Awesome. So you guys see that stick where it is? If you use your hands, what's going to happen? It's going to smack you.
It's going to fight you.
Yeah, it's going to smack you, okay? So I want you guys to go ahead and take a couple practice swings here, using just your shoulders, yeah. And if you continue to rotate and rotate through, that club should not get in, that stick should not get in your way, right? If anything, in your setup, it shouldn't be touching you because our hands are pushed forward a little bit. The stick is pushing forward. And then even in your rotation, it shouldn't touch you as well. There you go. Awesome. It doesn't include, you know, the tension in your hands and arms or anything, but it does. It definitely gives you the feeling of rotation. Rotating through, making sure you don't use your hands. That's the biggest thing. If you keep your hands quiet, you keep your hands coming down and through as you rotate, that stick should not hit you. That stick should not hit you.
Pretty wide, it keeps hitting the ribs.
Well, we have some people who are a little bigger than others, so can we use this in our full swing as well? Yeah. So your feeling through impact here should feel exactly the same as you hit your irons, as you hit your driver. Driver is going to be a completely different setup, right? But that feeling of impact where your club face is stable, you're coming through the ball, you're not using your hands to strike the ball, you're rotating through and through and through and through. Your hands are still and quiet, and then we release at the end, you know what I mean? And that, through the ball is exactly what you're feeling here, right? Where we're stable, we're rotating through, and all your momentum and everything has released. Your ball's already 50 yards down the line, and then your hands release, right? So we're gonna get that feeling. We'll talk about that later when we get there with the irons and everything. But yeah, this drill, again, making sure you rotate, not using your hands, okay? Good work today, guys. All right, we're gonna play a quick little, do a little quick little contest here. We're gonna add a little pressure here, and then we're gonna kind of discuss everybody's technique.
Ooh, solid.
Clipped it nicely, about 9 feet left. Pretty good. We got a duffer here. What do you think? What was the culprit for that shot right there? Hands. He's calling it on the hands right here. We'll give him another shot. Let's see if he can use his rotation better. He did both rotate and use his hands, so that's how. We got a little scoopy there, so it was the opposite of Danny. Danny went strong arm, and then Steven went scoopy on that one. Oh, we got a bump and runner here.
Winner.
And we got ourselves a winner, probably 4 or 5 feet from the cup. He was using a lower lofted club, so he had to take a smaller swing, but that was pretty good. All right, guys, I want to thank you for coming out today. I appreciate you taking the time to come out. I'm excited about your games. Everybody's chipping's looking a lot better.
Oh, look at that movement.
Steven decides to hit a good shot now.
I know.
Steven, thanks a lot, man.